And we're back. Welcome to Evan and Danny's second video vocabulary thing. And to start us off, we'll talk about liberalism. Liberalism is one of three international relations theories that describes a way of power in which equality is put above everything. You've probably heard about the term liberal, which is someone who supports the idea of liberalism and equality. Liberalists usually support the LGBT community and more left-leaning values.
The second of the three international relations theories is realism. Realism is just the idea that humans have an instinct to gain power. However, in this class we talk about realism from the perspective of countries. Countries use realism to gain power over other countries in a political and economic sense. This also ties into the terms hard power, soft power, and smart power. Realism is practiced by countries all over the world who aim to have a place in the world from both a political and economic standpoint.
Last of the international relations theories is constructivism. This is the most vague theory, so try to stay with me. Basically, constructivism is the idea that the world is based off of social constructs. What that means is that as long as people acknowledge that something exists, it exists. Here's an example. If everybody woke up one day and decided that the US doesn't exist, then based off of constructivism, it doesn't exist. Constructivism is in our everyday lives and things like rules, for example. Rules are made to keep things running, and most of the time people follow them. However, they are technically just agreements that people with power decided to make with people of lesser power in order to be able to control everybody. If every person in the US all decided to steal something from a store at the same time, the police can't arrest everybody. Constructivism is kind of a vague international relations theory that I hope I explained well enough.
Next, we will briefly discuss the term multinational. Something that is multinational happens in two or more countries.
The term intergovernmental is going to be used in the upcoming terms, so let me explain what it is. Intergovernmental means something that involves two or more governments from different countries.
Next is IGOs, or intergovernmental organizations. They are defined as an entity created by a treaty by two or more nations to work in good faith on issues of common interest. An example of this is the EU or European Union, which is a group of countries in Europe that all work together socially, economically, and politically.
With IGOs come NGOs, or non-governmental organizations. These are similar to IGOs, except they have nothing to do with the government and are run mostly by volunteers from around the world. These are non-profit organizations that aim to make the world a better place. An example of this is the American Red Cross Association.
Finally, we will talk about MNCs, or multinational corporations. These are large, privately owned businesses that operate in multiple countries. A good example of this is Tesla. And that concludes the video vocabulary for this unit. Thanks for listening.